Welcome to this edition of Ethical Sustainable Investment News and Analysis to Profit By. I'm Ron Robbins, an ethical investing pioneer for over 40 years, quoted in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, the Globe and Mail, and numerous other media, and founder of the highly respected global ethical sustainable investing information website, Investing for the Soul. And please listen to my disclaimer statement at the end of this podcast. Now enjoy this podcast. Hello, Ron Robbins here. Welcome to my podcast, episode 95, published on December 2nd, 2022, titled Top Floating and Onshore Windfarm Stocks, and presented by Investing for the Soul. Investingforthesoul.com is your site for vital global ethical and sustainable investing mentoring, news, commentary, information, and resources. Remember that you can find a full transcript and links to content, including stock symbols and bonus material, on this episode's podcast page located at investingforthesoul.com/podcasts. Now, if any terms are unfamiliar to you, simply Google them. Also, a reminder, I do not evaluate any of the stocks or funds mentioned in these podcasts, nor do I receive any compensation from anyone covered in these podcasts. Furthermore, I will reveal to you any personal investments I have in the investments mentioned herein. Additionally, quotes about individual companies are brief, so that I can get as many companies covered as possible in the time allowed. Please go to this podcast's webpage for links to the actual articles, where you will find much more great company information. Also, note several companies are covered more than once herein, and they are also 4 article links below that time didn't allow me to review them here. Now, beginning with the lead article, which is titled Top 5 Floating Wind Farm Stocks, which companies are going deep in clean tech? It's by Q.ai on Forbes.com. Here are some quotes. Floating offshore wind farms are on their way to becoming a viable green energy solution for mass consumption. Going over the companies now. 1. Next Era Energy. On a global scale, the company is one of the top producers of both wind and solar energy. Back in 2021, the company submitted multiple proposals to build offshore wind farms. 2. Vestas Wind Systems. Vestas Wind Systems has over 25 years of experience in the offshore energy industry. The company has stayed on the cutting edge of both floating offshore wind power and fixed bottom turbines. 3. General Electric. GE is also diving into the world of green energy. Recently, it announced its own floating wind turbine project that is currently underway. The company continues to invest in offshore wind farm technology, and the resources behind this classic blue chip give it an edge over the competition. 4. Brookfield Renewable Partners LP. Brookfield Renewables is one of the largest publicly traded renewable energy companies. In 2022, Brookfield partnered with SSE Renewables to participate in an offshore wind farm project off the coast of the Netherlands. 5. Siemens Gamesa Renewable Energy. This company is focused on developing wind power. Beyond major installations, the company is committed to producing 100% recyclable turbines by 2040. End quotes. Continuing on the renewable energy theme is this article titled 11 Best Wind Power and Solar Stocks to Buy. It's by Ramesh Chima on yahoo.com. Here he explains his methodology and a few quotes on each of his picks. We studied both the solar and wind power energy industries to take a look at which firms are providing their services and products. These selected companies are ranked through hedge fund holdings gathered via Insider Monkey's Q3 2022 survey of 920 funds. 11. Vestas Wind Systems AS. Yes, again. Hedge fund holders? Not available. Vestas Wind Systems is a Danish wind turbine company. It has 138 gigawatts of active wind service contracts and an average duration of 10 years per contract. Additionally, the firm also has $18.6 billion in equipment order backlogs and a stronger $30.8 billion in service contract backlogs. 10. Northland Power Inc. Hedge fund holders, again not available. Northland Power is a Canadian company that generates electricity from wind, solar, natural gas and hydropower. Northland Power is aiming to grow its operating income by a strong 7% to 10% compound annual growth rate between 2022 and 2027. 9. Siemens Energy AG. Hedge fund holders, again not available. Siemens Energy is a German company that is one of the oldest of its kind, as it was set up in 1866 and is headquartered in Munich. The firm sells equipment such as steam and gas turbines, electrical systems, offshore wind farm connectors, wind turbine designs, and maintenance service for wind farms. 8 is Ørsted AS. Hedge fund holders, not available. Ørsted AS is a Danish company that builds, develops, and operates onshore and offshore wind farms and solar farms. It has facilities in the UK, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, and the United States. Ørsted AS is the largest company in the world when it comes to onshore wind farms. 7. Brookfield Renewable Partners LP. Yes, again. Hedge fund holders, 19. Brookfield Renewable Partners LP is a Bermuda-based company that generates power through several renewable sources, such as wind, solar, and biomass. The firm also has a massive development pipeline in the US, the total planned capacity of which is greater than 60 gigawatts across the different sources that it uses for power generation. 6. Array Technologies Inc. Hedge fund holders, 29. Array Technologies is an American company that provides solar tracking systems. These include hardware such as single-axis tracking system and software that uses machine learning to boost energy production. Array Technologies Inc. is uniquely suited to grow, as its products form the backbone of operating solar farms. 5. TPI Composites Inc. Hedge fund holders, 29. TPI Composites is a back-end wind power equipment provider. The firm makes and sells wind turbine blades and assembly solutions. It is a global firm with operations in the US, Europe, Mexico, the Middle East, and Africa. TPI Composites has a whopping $2.7 billion of incoming revenue from contracts until 2024. 4. Enphase Energy Inc. Hedge fund holders 59. Enphase Energy Inc. is a pure-play solar energy company. The firm makes and sells solar power products such as inverters and battery storage systems. Enphase Energy's third quarter saw the firm report a stunning 80% annual revenue growth, with its European revenue posting a 70% growth. Consequently, Enphase Energy's shares are up by 69% year to date. 3. NextEra Energy Inc. Yes, again. Hedge fund holders 73. NextEra Energy generates electricity through wind, solar, nuclear, coal, and natural gas. The firm is responsible for providing 5% of the country's electricity. Additionally, roughly 95% of the firm's power generation is served through clean energy sources, including natural gas, wind, and solar. And number 2, Tesla Inc. Hedge fund holders 88. Tesla Inc. is the world's largest electric vehicle company. It also sells solar panels and storage systems. Tesla's latest quarter saw the company grow its solar deployments to 94 megawatts for a 13% annual growth. The growth was fueled by residential power projects. During the same quarter, Tesla's energy storage platforms grew to a whopping 2.1 gigawatts, for a new record that saw the company continue to face higher demand than it can supply. And number 1, Berkshire Hathaway Inc. Hedge fund holders 104. Berkshire Hathaway Inc. is an American investment firm that has interests in a host of different businesses such as consumer technology, energy, automotive, insurance, banking, and finance. But Berkshire Hathaway Inc. operates in the renewable energy sector through its Berkshire Hathaway Energy Division. End quotes. It seems financial analysts in the ESG space predominantly write about alternative and renewable energy. So here's yet another article. It's titled 3 Alternative Energy Stocks That Could Power Higher in 2023. And it's by Joey Frenetti on tipranks.com. Here are some of his comments. Alternative energy stocks have been under considerable pressure this year as fossil fuel plays bounced back. As rate hike fears blow over, the following 3 green energy plays may be ripe for picking up. 1. Brookfield Renewable Partners. Yes, again. Brookfield Renewable Partners is a renewable power play down more than 40% from its all-time high hit in January 2021. Its stock stands out as one of the better values in the green energy industry. The 4.3% dividend yield may not be the biggest of the batch, but it looks more sustainable than that of some of its peers. Recently, the firm teamed up with Cameco to acquire nuclear service firm Westinghouse Electric Company. Such a deal gives Brookfield some unique exposure beyond just wind and solar. 2. NextEra Energy. NextEra Energy is a $167.6 billion energy behemoth that's done a better job of holding its own amid this market sell-off than some of its smaller peers. With a modest 2% dividend yield and a stretch 43.5 times trailing earnings multiple, NextEra Energy stock may seem like a less exciting way to play the next era of energy, but its renewable business is proliferating. 3. Algonquin Power and Utilities. Algonquin Power stock made new multi-year lows following a quarterly flop. Earnings per share of just 11 cents versus 17 cents estimate. And a guidance downgrade. The stock is now down around 58% from its peak, and the massive 9.4% yielding dividend looks at risk. After such a vicious post-earnings drop, around 35%, the stock trades at 2 times sales and just 1 times book value. That's one of the best deals in the alternative energy space today. And yes, another article in the renewables theme titled Find Renewable Income with These Alternative Energy Dividend Stocks by Bob Cure on realmoney.thestreet.com. Now some comments by Mr. Cure on each stock. 1. Brookfield Renewable Partners by, we're getting a lot of repeats. Brookfield Renewable Partners operates one of the world's largest portfolios of publicly traded renewable power assets. Its portfolio consists of about 23,000 megawatts of capacity in North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. It is also important to note that hydroelectric energy generates about 70% of the total funds from operations of the company. Brookfield Renewable Partners is currently offering a 4.3% dividend yield with a payout ratio of 78%. 2. Clearway Energy. Clearway is a large renewable energy player with more than 5,500 net megawatt of installed wind and solar capacity. Approximately 2,500 net megawatts of the company's energy comes from natural gas generation facilities. Clearway has ample room for future growth as it has a development pipeline of more than 26 megawatts. Thanks to the expected approval of rate increases by regulatory authorities and acquisitions of existing renewable energy projects, the company is likely to continue growing its cash flow per share at a mid-single-digit rate in the upcoming years. Clearway is currently offering a 4.2% dividend yield with a payout ratio of 49%. 3. Aris Water Solutions. Aris Water Solutions is an environmental infrastructure and services company which provides water handling and recycling solutions. Its produced water handling business gathers, transports, and handles produced water generated from oil and natural gas production. The infrastructure of the company serves major oil and gas producers in the Permian Basin, helping them to achieve their sustainability goals. Moreover, Aris Water Solutions has a much stronger balance sheet than Brookfield Renewable Partners and Clearway. End quotes. Now some other honorable mentions, no particular order. 1. Title. Beyond Meat is struggling and the plant-based meat industry worries. And that's in the NewYorkTimes.com by Julie Cresswell. 2. Title, 12 Best ESG Stocks to Buy Now on Yahoo.com by Insider Monkey Team. 3. Title, Top Clean Energy ETFs in 2022 on Nasdaq.com by Prableen Bajpal. And there's one UK article titled, Are these 3 high dividend renewable energy stocks no-brainer buys now? And that's on fool.co.uk by Alan Oscroft. Well, these are my top news stories with their stock and fund tips for this podcast. Top floating and onshore wind farm stocks. Now please be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you download or listen to this podcast. This helps bring these podcasts to others like you. And please click the share buttons to share this podcast with your friends and family. Let's promote ethical and sustainable investing as a force for hope and prosperity in these terribly troubled times. Contact me if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. Talk to you next on December 16th. Bye for now. Learn how to create a simple portfolio reflecting your personal values by taking my 1-hour tutorial. Go to investingforthesoul.com/podcasts and click the link in the right-hand column for my DIY Ethical Sustainable Investing Pays tutorial. Now, I'll mention in the podcast if I have any direct interest or holdings in companies or securities I'm talking about. Furthermore, any news, opinions, analysis, or other information offered by myself, as well as references and information to or from other external sources in this podcast, is provided as general market information and should not be relied upon and thus does not constitute investment advice. Investors should consult their own licensed investment professional before making investments. Also, I will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on information in this podcast. Do contact me at ronr@investingforthesoul.com. Signing off, this is Ron Robbins.